Hello YouTube viewers and welcome to my review of Medal of Honor. This is a personal review and it's just my own opinion of what I think of Medal of Honor. Basically in Medal of Honor you play as three main different characters. One guy called Rabbit, some other guy called Adams, and some other guy who basically fights from a helicopter gunship. Most of the game is set in, all the games actually set in Afghanistan, and you play as a tier 1 operator, which is some kind of elite special forces unit. Initially you don't have any crosshairs, which probably adds a bit of realism to the game, but you definitely need them in the multiplayer. Most of the time you'll be aiming down the sights anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, but you can turn them on anyway. One really good element to the game is the great use of battle chatter. You normally hear this through your headpiece, or other times you're on top of, you're manning a gunship or something, and it's really good use of the military language and something which, I really like to enjoy listening to. The multiplayer I find is limited in the fact there's no capture the flag, there's no zombie mode. It's basically mainly sector control, which kind of gets old, but perhaps that reflects the nature of the war out there, and that was purposely, done intentionally by EA and DICE. In Medal of Honor, there are quite a lot of cutscenes, probably a bit too many. Most of them are pretty good, especially after a fight. It's like a reward for doing really well in the game, especially the ending. It's quite well done. The ones I don't like are the kind of CIA Hollywood type ones where it's like really scripted and a bit corny, but apart from that they're pretty good. The maps in the multiplayer are quite good. The one in Kashmir Town and Kabul City and the Kandahar Marketplace are probably my favourites, along with the one in the Helmet Valley. I think that's quite good. The weapons, I won't name them, but they are all modern, and once you rank up, it allows you access to other weapons, especially if you're a special ops. The P90 is going to come in really handy to you. When you're fighting in the mountains in Medal of Honor and you're practically being overrun by opposition forces, you're pinned in, they're firing rockets at you, and your kind of shelter's being eroded by bullets, and there's kind of a car coming at you. All of a sudden then this helicopter comes along and kind of saves the day. And from that point on then, your mission is in a helicopter, so you kind of change position there from on the ground into the air, and that's really good because it gives a multidisciplinary aspect to war, and it just kind of flows really well. So you're not just fighting as a marine the whole time, and it just kind of shows you different aspects of the war and how it interacts and how the Air Force and the ground troops kind of work together really well. In the multiplayer, when you do a really good act, or you take control of a sector, or you do a certain defensive action or offensive action, you get these kind of ribbons and medals, and they're quite rewarding, and it's something that you really look forward to, and you feel like you've really achieved something. Like if you get a certain number of kills, or you did particularly well in the map, like finishing first in your team, you get like a certain medal, and that's something which I always try and aim for, and once I get it or something, it's like I got a real achievement and stuff. The single player campaign, it's really short. It's way too short. For example, I played this game on the hard difficulty, which is the hardest one you can get, and I finished it in like under 10 hours of casual gameplay. There just isn't enough really if you're just playing it for the single player, but it's the multiplayer really that everyone was looking forward to, and there are a lot of positives to that. But getting back to single player, there isn't any lone wolf type of mission. You're always with a part of a squad or a group of squad. You also have set objectives, so there isn't any real scope to kind of explore and do your own thing. So it's kind of predetermined a lot of the time, so that's one big detraction I found from the game. Overall though, I felt disappointed with this game. I was looking forward to this game for ages, and it was hyped up a lot, but I just felt it fell short of my expectations and other gamers' expectations, making the single player way too short. The multiplayer does make up for it in some aspects, but you do get tired of it very quickly, and it just feels like there isn't enough in the game to keep your interest sustained. I can't see myself going back and playing this game again. because there are other games out there that are better, and I just kind of felt let down overall by Medal of Honor PC.